George Forbes men that also aduonu nsia wo fi champion mienu ene aduonu ensia no mu ebraso se anwumre no nsia kase ayebobo no from menu tini nata dia padum fo kunra kruche dia gumma mu semfo asema ya kruche no yede mu nchemu nyina yede ebramo ewo ehono www.owiatv.com sa enso enadwani echemu ewo Facebook Owia TV, TikTok Owia TV official ene YouTube so eye Owia TV ho nyina ensemi etwagu a agent tribal patabri support soche be so follow ye ni na wabomoden na wa follow na subscribe na wa share na wo wadwen chen so e de ato de ama ebresemu no ya jebre na ya kenkan e de amount tentem so a ensma ya de besomo ene anwumre yi de edimu akotini animu no ebi ene se Ghana mampanyi John Dramani mama abomoden amanipa banu a wodi di brafofro e de amomo wo maso afremo sai
Omampanyi di aso akobo form sebe ya adwumakuo bi a wonu mo eba besim firi djuma wo mo betwa floating glass ibi wo betimi afiti ase na waye wonu mo adwuma
Owia Kaseɛ ato forsen omen sikasam so afọ de abetodwa se godu de sese ku adwama so a sade ebo na sia hwihwi no eye ni kasem
Ghana fokoto anyina hoɔden a etumiri kase Usain Bolt na no na nam so ama ahye a ehwe omen hoɔden ne nsɛm so ekire se wonu mo eno ensɛm mu siko
na me no kase achechefo nkabom kuo bi ese wo mo de wo machitai e de Ghana mampanyina be de eche se wono e na wontu frank amfama ndisi amanyuko no
Tichani Edima Conference Affairs of Sister Secondary School Charles Ekuo no ena wo kire se yensan fa nhye mra se de be ya enkwada ahohyeso ye betumi ahyemu kena
Abusua pi ena eka we hu a ya ye ne se anwumre no nsia kase a don re ba ko adi animi ye de ba ye de abesomo aseda chenchenche ni bi eko e de ama emo pafie yakopɛ mo premium ene super premium no sa enso ena Jobin Bank wo mo ene afei
Jabolivia Enterprise say aduane pa de wo se utumi didi ye kama no nti odi aduane papa ba boa enwo apomuten na ebusu immune system ne kama brepam yebeka wo ho asem akyerewo
akenkanfo be no edi kase bra manwumre eyeme abusua pani ousu ediumi mene
nana kwame achiman opambo
afei kase no enchiremu Mampanyi John Dramani mama ejina wo men yama mra afia pema hankro de okro mienu a emma no tumi na wodi dibre ede ma ankrenkro mpese wosom omen mo omen timi konkan so amoma so afrem amoma so aye na ni nyina mu no so hwe dibre a ekono a na Daniela mawusi into sapon wono no eba ba begire mu sedumja adwumakuo panyimpa fire officer enye asem ketwa sa enso ena Samuel Besintali Amadu wono so ebeye controller general Ghana Immigration Service womo so ani dwumadi a oba bedie no na arebra ye de mpanyimfo esi akonya so na wonum ye nusu hu na womo nya ewo bia nwuma a wo firi mu a wo ba nu nti yama no mu ne ye de ne kosa na ese eni kan yie pa mampanyi John Dramani mama nu mu no aka e de akere womo se wono mfa nam ye ensi ye honhom ne nweta so e na emra emeso momen no womo nye ema wono adwuma enye fe na enye akono
Essential infrastructure severely damaged. Families have lost their livelihoods, and in some heartbreaking instances, lives have been tragically cut short. These fires not only inflict significant personal and economic suffering, but also place immense pressure on our emergency response systems. Last year alone, 6,436 fire incidents were recorded, underscoring the urgent need for a fire service that is well equipped, proactive, and responsive. And therefore, the Acting Chief Fire Officer, Daniela Mausinto Sapong, as Chief Fire Officer, your leadership must focus on prevention through public education, emergency response readiness, and strict enforcement of fire safety regulations. Fire audits must be effective and safety laws enforced without compromise. You have my full assurance that this administration will provide every necessary resource to ensure that the Ghana Fire Service is well equipped to protect lives and property. As indicated, I know the fire service have been crying for that for a long time. As indicated in the 2025 budget, All essential projects will be completed and officer welfare will remain a priority. For our new Director General of Prisons, Patience Bafuboni, your appointment comes at a time when we're committed to modernizing our correctional system. Prisons should not merely be a place of confinement, but institutions for transforming criminals. True justice is not only about punishing wrongdoing, but also about offering a path to redemption. That is why the introduction of the prison service parole regulations, which will soon be laid before Parliament, marks a bold step in ensuring that individuals who have demonstrated genuine rehab.
We Ghana Mampenny John Dramani Mama and I would say what's all wanted to do judgment course. Woman, your ma, woman, the judgment, one quatry, second neighbor Bruna Fedie, abandon Abra will be Shimukina.
Ghana Mampenny John Dramani Mahama, I am Mamreni Amania, what day I saw above from Sedebeya floating glass ibi. One bit to me a see a home for the Juma or Shama. Na Mampenny dia sober from the watcher said Mekobia. Your friend said Keda Ghana Company Limited, one man ebeshe. Na what to me as Nesika what the Evremuno Esmamreka dollars no. Or pepe a her new adunu $250 million US and a one more day ebabisi. Na ye share mu kwanse say one more ewie pedakuru bia. And ye one more incha glass na crown bese. 1,400 tons the ombeshe na watumi aye ho adwuma amampanyi dia sobo from no and the watch say we aye efe toso numu a wonum nso ties ho adwuma wonum yerode ebeshim bisan say adwuma kuyi wonum ewo Ghana hadada eba ne set ties na afi glass ne ade a womo aye ho adwuma ntiwe ya mampanyi dia so akobo from na che say wonum dwumadie no and woba abeshim kena mampanyi kasa and watch say abayani suade hu na 24-hour economy in Fidijuma, Edimu Akotini ye papa, and Tisa Jumakua, one eba besi our shamano, ebe 24-hour economy mukena, no sunan chain, ebe boa ama African continental free trade area after Ansheno, or my Ghana so etimi and Yamucha Fesan say, Edmakwe Owia Kaseɛ, ewa bibima who domo, one ma eba glass and Afri ties in Wajuma, one aye, and Sembia, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. This
project aligns fully with our national industrial strategy and the broader objectives of the 24-hour economic program, the accelerated export development program, of which I'm the chairman, the African Continental Free Trade Area Regional Integration Agreements, import substitution, and value addition. Industrial growth must drive our exports. Under the African Continental Free Trade Area, Ghana is uniquely positioned as the host of the Secretariat. And so we must translate that advantage into manufacturing strength. Trade agreements alone do not create prosperity. Production does, value addition does, and competitive exports create prosperity. KEDA's expansion supports this transformation. This float glass facility incorporates advanced manufacturing technology and modern quality control systems.
Mani Mahama nuachiri no ena eba Keda Ghana Ceramic Company Limited apanyi kwanchirefo a wota ano lewe oronso ekasai na oditudwa se womo boapaye pa ana wonmo ahyeda sesa adwuma no wobesi wo Ghana ha no mesan se wonmo hwa se wo hwe glass ho adwuma wo my Ghana mu na enhyeda no so sa no ti se koba se wonmo biewe na ebabua pa ma adwuma no emu atumi atre na fe Ghana fo nso a wonmo pe glass ni bi dia ye adwuma wonsa atumi aka no wano nsem bia owura lewe editu dwanie.
Construction of phase 1 is expected to be complete by August next year. Upon completion, the project will create 453 direct jobs and approximately 3,000 indirect jobs, increasing total employment to nearly 6,000, while significantly boosting national revenue generation. We remain confident that with a continued government partnership and stakeholder support, these projects will deliver their full economic and social impact. As I conclude, I reaffirm Ghana's unwavering commitment to contributing meaningfully to Ghana's socio-economic transformation.
Abusia, we are managing director with Ghana Ceramic Company Limited and Orally Way. And all this sounds me to Jane Crackamo. Oko atoye mantemu aswafo a wohye so eye Owura Joseph Nelson ono so kasa wo kire se wo hye eniema nkasa ye de eye glass ne ho adwuma de yenye ho hwe ne yebetimi anya bi wo Ghana no beboa ama adenyuma nso abayi papa ne nsem bi ne.
Our aspiration has always been clear: to translate natural resource endowment into sustainable wealth creation for our people. The investment by Keda Company Limited speaks directly to that aspiration. By expanding tire production, commissioning sanitary ware manufacturing, and initiating a float glass factory, this company is helping Ghana move up the value chain.
Owura Nelson Joseph wono anasa woko atoyemantemu a oyeswafo
Abziana atoyemantemu sofo ye free we de na ye ko sofo a ohwe my Ghana esika sam ensam so meche ononyamfo Kaseɛ atoforsen na ene menemu ekasayi of sofo asoreja namro so ewo my Ghana mrahye bedwafie ama Owia Kaseɛ atoforsen wode nsembebre ede atodwa na ensem wode tudwa ne bi dodo na ano na enamo my Ghana ye koko a ye di wudwa uko wiase nyina na Ghana edi mutintiman pa aman a wono bɔ moden na wo de koko esom ewiase nyina nenei Owura yi kiremu a aye kono aye nika aye fefefefefe sebrato ni nyina ene se edwama so gold buo no ehwirihwiri a ama sese babie buo na kwa akogina no eni kayi a ebetimi aboa mo my Ghana ede nam ye so ne ahonkeka ne anigye so ne yenye sika dwete na ye de ahye yenso ye sika mu na ama ye sika sam etimi agya ne namro so pampesa aponchi breki na wo kase ne wo kiremu se ne se Owura Central Bank no wo mu hia bi pa boaboa no no mo de eguo saa enso ana ewiase ankasa ne gold a wo mo pɛ no nso no ama no ekosoro pa bro ni beka se the demand eno nso ekosoro ni nyina ye niema akeka afuofua ama eneye ama gold no eho aye na aye pampe a sese no ne bo no ekosoro enti wo se enam sai no so amo my Ghana ye nso sabe ye besa ho nkwai bi pa.
The depreciation reflected a strain on external buffers in the face of constrained financial options, capital outflows, heightened macroeconomic pressures, and the need to meet critical foreign exchange obligations such as debt repayment. Right, Honorable Speaker, global gold prices have reached unprecedented levels, driven by heightened international risk, sustained accumulation by central banks, and strong safe haven demand. These developments significantly boosted export earnings and strengthened external buffers for gold-producing economies, including Ghana. Mr. Speaker, with prices far exceeding their long-term historical averages, gold has emerged as the most reliable and immediate instrument for accelerating reserve accumulation without increasing public debt or introducing distortions in domestic market. Projections from major international financial institutions indicate that gold prices are likely to remain elevated and favorable over the medium term, underscoring the resilience and persistence of the current price cycle. Right, Honorable Speaker, the outlook for gold prices provided a solid foundation for policies that strengthen external buffers, reduce vulnerability to external shock, and support long-term financial stability of Ghana.
Abusafo na chese wo mo mabin e wo gold dwadie mu ni hwehwemu ni ade a wo mo de abeto dwane ekiremu a ebo no se ne esi efroko no enya ade animu ya ebeba fom a ebebo apa ononyamfo a wore esi kasem nsem so Kaseɛ atoforsen
na Dr. Kaseɛ atoforsen kopie mo mrahye bedwafie en wade na di ese social gold board wo yi asese o mo hwe animu kwan se afibia mu no tons bese oha aduonu enson ayesika kokko mehire gold no enom behwe na watumi ato ede afri 1 afumagudie enkumade kan se artisanal mining for no ensemo na wose eno babu apase de beya Ghana yeni anka sika kokko aye wa pese eboaboa no na ye de bochi dom ede me sika sem no ye betumi enya bi abrebia na ye de akwa amonane na ye sika sem nso atumi adeto yie anu nti wa kire se emfinhia miensa eda abanye nimidie ene afi bia no gold board anto awonmu a etu afumagudie nkuma de ye artist na afi small scale miners ne nsem ne de tons bese oha aduonu nso de beto edi afri wonmu ensem wasi we ye nhie bia wonmu ye edi aboa ama my Ghana sika sem atumi agina pintin ne nsem no ebi eni
2.45 tons weekly through official channels to generate adequate foreign exchange for the country. Over the next 3 years, the Ghana Gold Board aimed to mop up about 127 tons of ASM gold per annum. Mr. Speaker, to achieve this objective in an efficient manner, the following policy measures will be implemented in the artisanal small-scale mining sector. The first, Ghana Gold Board shall arrange enough funds to acquire about 3 to 4 weeks of gold and ensure continuous market participation. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Gold Board will assume full responsibility for the signing of off-take arrangement and the sale of all ASM gold it procures effective from March 2026. This will ensure effective end-to-end trading with off-takers and mitigate trading losses whilst pursuing trading gains for the country. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Ghana Gold Board shall deploy effective gold-backed derivative trading programs and hedging strategies to mitigate market risk.
After forcing all this answer to John Rashid Fear, the other car will be a gold board no one customer fat to also a free match was so many besim air corner, Senka can intem Jinafobi or Honoma Wonum and a koto a former good dear no Eddie free one more, a tuning kuman and 7 Santem Jinafo Ninano, one more ebe free honum nafe, a banese and a gold board no one casa for Sergimano, at the afternoon was a face a bar entity and in church how do I fair Jedi Honon Soa. Was so about to want to say gold board. No, the church or man for them what me munti as ye na aboa am wanisu adihuno no etumi abemu.
Ononyamfo Dr. Kaseɛ atofo sen amananso hwa woto aso no chire mu se enese de mpanyimfo ka no se akrante nkwan eda na ne bofuru eka ho enti no mpese omfa bronya so no omrekra Kaseɛ ni nyina ene se wo mo de nhyehyɛ mienu bi ade agu kwa mu aganafo befa so na ye de apekwan na gold no yatimi anya musimche na niema atimi akonkan de di ka no ochire mu a ekwan o man Ghana fa so na ye boaboa gold na no bie na ye digu wono mo se daache ahokyere bi ba yesu be yibie ne ye de abobra eno na brofo kasa chenchenche a da so eye Ghana Accelerated National Reserve Accumulation Policy eno no wose wono behwe se anya hwe no na wotwe bia no 2.45 tons no womo ensa betimi aka no womato ede afri womo agold no womo ye nwo adwuma nanso enhyeda enye Kaseɛ pa no artisanal small scale mining for no womo eho no mu na afeye na abobo modern a womo hwe se anya hwe na afi bia no American dollar aburobunu no opepem aduonu womo nsa ebetumi aka afei wo ba biem no ena de etoso emienu no enso wo hwe se ekwan a aye gold board nso befa so na womo nso betimi enya bie na womo nso atimi atoto bia na womo de agugu won mo na eno ena Kaseɛ atoforsen edi tudwa wo chirem se wei no enya American dollar abunobunu no ena womo de ba beto saa gold ya womo kan yi na emum ye nia ye sika sidi no ena ye de ba beto na afeye ye de ahwe ni aboaba ama eniema atimi akonkan na daachi bia no yatimi enya ho emfa so pa ni nyina no womo hwe sade ye be ya mpanyimfo de wonum ne krudine ebehwemwo na womo edi asem sade ye be ye bibia beko tote.
The preemption right under Section 3D of the Ghana Gold Board Act to purchase a minimum of 20% of large-scale gold output, which translates to a minimum of 0.57 tons of gold per week. The gold acquired from the large-scale mining sector shall strictly be in the form of doré and processed in Ghana to promote local value addition. The transaction shall be in cedis only at the prevailing interbank exchange rate and at a discount to be determined by the parties. The applicable discount rate shall be determined based on volume between the government of Ghana and the large-scale mining companies. Right, Honorable Speaker, the gold purchased in Dore under this new acquisition arrangement shall be refined by local gold refineries, shipped to LBMA refineries for melting, bar casting, and stamping, and added to the country's fiscal gold reserves. Mr. Speaker, this gold shall only be sold by the central bank subject to prior approval of cabinet and parliament. Mr. Speaker, these measures will ensure strict enforcement of commitment by large-scale mining firms, local value retention, transparency, good governance, and acquisition cost reduction.
Ombete abedwakuo bi efense interagency committee eno no ononyamfo hwe yesika semsi won obedwum tani obehwe no mahwese ne beya bibia ebekotote ede amae Dr. Kaseɛ ato forcing finance minister ene yeteninken
yemfiri on yenko nsem foforo moma isu afo awono ehwe ahode ne ensem so Ayura John Abdullah Jinapo no de ato edwase wahyese won munye nhwemu emfa ho nansemu Ghana de hye bia won mokoto ahode ne ede efri sigifo enchen won mo ebosudwetire pa esan so mo kyese akoyese obi ton nkura duro wose odi ya na owuye kyese wode power ne kohyem na woda wo abani wo bete se ebo pinpin adani a power na wokoto de bae na asa ebi won so kora wonhye da mfa nya ahwio wonkoto hwe mfa meka woniema a wodidi djuma no nanansamu yesimita bi aba na no echen yusembotu se wonya koto power de gusu pe wodi ko nyina na ECG fo ne ye usi ya ti wodi shemu a bete pen na ne nyina asa nti omanfo esu yie papa eno enenam so ama opanyina wono ena ekasa edema soafo a wo hwe ahwodeni ensam so Richmond Roxen abo amane se no kwasem ni soafo no ahye se won munye mpensempensemu emfamfade nti a akwakoba nsesanse Ghana fo dodo na ena wonum esu ewa ahwodeni no eho eno enam so ama Owia TV yeti Simon Tenso ni kumase adehye edi nkita ho ne yebisa won se anyina hode nansen ukoto a etisei wonum nsem binie
mitana banderane de me hu fa say one say wire no so nya dia wire no count so one year wire ni ya and the mitana de run ko ana me de me first old one buy ni dia na nay old one buy ni at times go a month go to 300 it's me the yanko there 3 weeks a new one buy the to 300 it's me from ko be that never can asema the this can be rather e da kan it's me new mitana run
say Ejane by fact you use the other than ready no na normal and no crancy no ya de we no receipt in the barber shop ho be na wa hwe na wa kokotia okay was by prepaid in there ultimate 200 cedis 1 week na asa ultimate 50 e dey no kra no e betimi ayede asa na esi am so mo because we told 200 cedis are almost 30 cedis. Is that means when you 170 somewhere who be a
Ready need a journey pa because so we told 200 there just 2 weeks. And so first no nanka ye 200 Ghana a bro 3 weeks into yesterday prepaid in the way move my pa easy. Me akra kasa person me say that we so addicted to bia. And so me to as see anasa
media na eche pa as say enuru obi relationship kra chese o to ya na asa wahu o koto ade na asa asem kra ni enti kumase ade hie bi ana won me de sanse me tuda na eno achi no so afo hwe ahode ne ensem so Owia John Jinapo kire se wahye ECG adwumakuo ni se won mo mpa badwakuo bi na won mo nye nhwemu bese na fu anso ntem onfa ho amadebo ematudwa.
Once we conduct the investigation, assuming some meters are faulty, we have to replace them immediately because you must put the right meter. And if it turns out that people have overpaid, we have to find a way of compensating them. But like I said, it's just too early. Let us conduct the investigation. Fortunately, we have a very good working relationship with the PURC. So the PURC, the Energy Commission, the ministry, and all the agencies under me are working together. We'll make sure that we get to the bottom of this matter and resolve it in a fair and impartial manner.
John Abdullah Jinapo.
Abjafo bedru fie bia mu nemu akono nemu ofe na yetwetwe monjimo nkemu na yeyi apotobibra na ye priority abna enso behwe na otreda nchemu na eno na eneyie enam sai no so ma chechefo bia bonma bin no munim de pa no mutimu bobew ewo omema keke omo abom sekuo na wo nsama omo kanyina ne se ne amemu pa ekum oman Ghana na Ghana for eje John Dramani mama so yoyoja wo muntimi nka abra wo mbeyi professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman obinfum okunyina wonna woye Ghana mampanyini abedi ekira woye obaa waso obaa ye no priority abena suahunu a wo ne nimdia wo ewa amemmo ntitirimu eba de suafam a bibia di adanse se wono gina brane wo se eba franka tubre ndi se amanyoko no a wono no mu group franka no na womo ede emma no na osomboko no otu na wohim se adendike na eno ene ne yie won ma yensentrofo nhia mudi atodwa se womo de womo chita nyina ede emma no ekuyi eye elite teachers association sa na womudi etie na panyina abotua ano no yomo national president eye ononyamfo Samo Owusu Kankam ensem no mu no okiremu edikosi se
na because na je na juma papa efi no mofrem na mede ahini echehye no emra o start in school bre no ye hima abaku samu eso de hima no ko ye magana for enya no so anonti ani afrem se e pese ma mi no ba na emana omso enya sa qualities anim die ni bi wo so na me hu kronkron so atimi atra wo mu amoma ba be hwe ma me no so aye ni ma bi gratimi achen sa ma me if say Jesus Christ o say okon e bi be ba ba yen sanchire na che Yesu wa nyeka wa nyero bi yen di pa e ba yi nyeka ya yedi ndisi omo hwe ma me say ya santoa any obi ne kan say ya santoa
Jana just a platform for elite teachers association one more president ononyamfo Samuel Owusu Kankam na moteni nka se wo kwa de ewura bible mu aboka se Yesu ba Nyankopon Nyankopon ba Yesu no wo kan se wo kọ na wo mo mbeba no ebi be ya nwade a che ne de ampa ebi ma be ye wiem hyen ene ne ke ka ho a che se maami wo mo hwe no mo to omani e de che na e be boa pa
Why?
Sunday school teacher women no.
Obewu memenda.
The idea question me ntimi anko asori. Enyem ya.
Obewu.
Yenko.
Na nkora quotations ya so obewu. Na teacher ni Edema Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools in 20 Charles wonom achechefo akandifo wonom enede da o sukuntu aso ahodo ano na teacher ni kana say Reverend Father Stephen Sechre and wodi atudwa say yemfa nhye pantu akom se de be ya eniema ahodo e de ye enkoda ho hyeso ho adwuma ye kan say discipline ye besanso e de abaye nsuku ahodo mu bio na atimi aboa menne ahosheso a eni suku mu na enkoda yi suban bone na won mo dadadi ne yebetimi ade atu eso esa na nsem omanfo be hye ne nso a sukuntu aso titiri sei emu nsem abapa enkoda won mu di ahurukasem won ma edi atutrasem aditia won ho edi ahurukasem wo monten so no edoso yie papa mebinum ebisa se edienti na akwa nsa ne nyina ese kane no ekwan anka akoda akosuku a ye chene ne ye twa ne to aba na ebasa ne ye de trentre ne ade se sane mani nyina no emu fa kase ne yi edi afri ho no mu a ene ye ntwa aba bia mu enam so ama na nsam kura so afọ abedi akire a wono ene hwe enwumasuan nsam so Dr. Clement Park wabra breakfast meeting bi ekoso no wadi trudwa se sanhye ne nsam famra se de beya enkoda ne discipline no ye besanso edi ababio na aboa am ye de atenetene enkoda ne sase mi hu no ena owura Stephen Sechre Reverend Father wone Owia TV edi enkoma wo chese se yesade sanhye ne ba ababua pa mankoda no yetumi ahwe won mu so eyie ne nsem ode to ye nimbi enie
Ese niama omuyi free mu abatwa ne ne bia na ekoso e ma kra ni leader mpo ene niama na keka ho samre no na ade foforo enti e ma awofo ni bia omuzo so etia abani twa no ene abo awofo ni bia yempese oba inflict pain on the bano omuzo fa ho niama brebe ene ebi no benya tumi the teacher for atem we obi ade ene kwada so ho obetimi fa phone no afo no wadi watem just like that no ko nti my teacher for us be at 9 but me nka se abra sa de no no sa emra ne be buy na eni ho ne nkwa bi teacher for ko da na ene social media na do so nti ma hu de ma te ne mantem dan mo ni na after that ho na de ten say school code of conduct no for students no very sharp. About 3 days ago, me my joy online. Let me say, say our phone cassette. Omo the teacher for any school pay for say yena. Ya say omo if I'm real for you. Now woman no say yam fast school code of conduct in yejuma. Me say say. Aya mo na ye akradi aya de na open no. Then you see a whole community. Minia descending on a headmaster, headmistress, a whole community. The be aquano with the perito back where you say, O Fanny a fro, you say near Pacho, and then they must say, Fanya Juma, eh? Seka, ye the code of conduct in your Juma to letter, and then call here back up to school. I'm running a sap, okay? And you know, a Trebia, now Shan Crasso Musubensi Tianua, not at all, so the human face cacabem. But Mimi school dear. Won't make us our school over the Chowasi. I will go to school. There be incident. So, a whole semester our school.
Father Stephen said, "We no and a president our DA Conference of Heads of Assisted Senior High School. Ekuno anon wade sanse me tu dwana. Awo for the best ya montansra sramomano. Ewo school bi wo ho a. Ne bako school a wonsi ho ada. We school na ba panu abisa say wawi. Da bi onwie. Why?
Afi no be shase.
Afi no be shase. Kosra ne ba. Weekend no awofuo na ade akoma no. Ne nani aka school ho no akọ bisa ase. Ebi wo kra ba ko no oni ho.
Omo mpeton so no mo twito de akoma wo mo. Di kusia de atoso se de ko abosomfie no. Ye nto so na ye mfa emamo. Ghana Posifo ensa aso nubone esen ya esunu boni a worum susu se ebo no esombo opepem ba kon achipo enan 1.4 million Ghana cedis na worum chiremu a empembe sa hanso wo ha edioso miensa eye enuru a yache ne mako na egugugu eye entoamu a ehyenye worum echiye na eneji asekan circuit court ahye amomo bi mu na yenko ahman so na yene yanemusini erabna esi wono ewo na afensem munchemu nyina no onfa aman era mpacha wote minka ya mwadwemo akwa aba o
mejo so papa
so ho ye de
obode dun kwache
ene wadama boyemu en
aye endra area bremu ena ye enkwanta divisional anasa enkwanta post for nya nse se aye ehyenbia ofi ordinary ofi nkan ordinary chim aye north pasa mpotem ho na no ana musu ye standby ehwe se de be kono betwem e wan kwanta bra ordinary okopim e wabonache pepepe na mpanyefo ejina no na mu jina no nso no anse adriver fo nso so kuru omo ye ni se omo de nyoma na gu mfimfini eye de ye kan se obon samta wa ibi agu sak ahodo bebre mu ena gu mfimfini na no ana mo de eye nsuo eye bottle water ibi brand be a person medbe edimetudwa edi agugugu enimu a so obehun se so be ka na obehun se nsuo no moton na omamom akoba so edo munya eye MCF jasika no sasa ka no omo suspect ka no ti mpanyimfo enhwe ampa so apostle for do say yoyo ana omutumi chi ka no ewo bonache won kwanta mensim ha sei na mu chi ka na omo ehwe ka ni mu no na bia ba na mpese omo apostle for no be hwem na so apostle for the omuye wo modwuma ye papa na omutumi ekohwem omuhwem na bottle de bills na ahodo bebre na wom na omusane over 7,700 narcotic drugs be allegedly and as a bottom or more rap in anything penny for the EBPM our quanta divisional headquarters or Muguso Asanmu and Shishimu.
Na say dear womansa aso ni nyina mu akwakodi aposifo nsanya za
womansa aso ni nyina mu mo aposifo akacha mo ye asanmu hwehwemu.
Okay asenkafo na wo mu twisen no nso
Bema sha say
wo mu ana wo mu drivers no nso wo mu ho nso asem te say
drivers no omu nyina aposifo nsa kan wo mu.
Oh okay era ene da se koso na fo ni ku twawisi anu mienu santem mfadi akire de befra to bia wada ama na watoye na wo de amayen.
Okay.
Afterfo ya na musini rabna esi wono na ye ne kobo nkomo a ni boni eye bonsam tabo wiye wabobodin na wachechirimu ene ho nsem de akosidi ama ye fa na ase bi emfama emopa fie wono ye kwa akowure ne de ade a ye kwa akopa mu na ya to na weekend ye de akodi na niema atimi akọ kama ede ama emsrawo ene eye yabwada wachini fie hwe ene wankoto mufun bi amfa anko fie ewo ho premium ene super premium rice no eye adwuma tenten wo mo asabe wo mo tie ye na wo mo tie na so pamu koto bi de wo mo nsese be nyamufun ene ye ton ede ema wo mo de jambi soya bean oil no de aba mesesa ade bia enim bomboten udi enyina gina wo boni ade a ye wo yummy tomato paste eno so de beka ho na wo de ayesti wo so wo ye nkatenkwan so wo ye nkwan bia no wate yummy tomato paste bi na ade atumu no ma nkwan ni taste na ye ema ne matimi ekonkan ewo ho no mo amono anu amoton ne ade hotel restaurant mo ye fried rice ne jollof no madarma eni amutu bomodi twa etakama na ye fefefe ewo ho no wo ba aduma oyerepa fm ye ben ho sa enso na patase achemfo hotel de Accra so Pass and Gardens junction ho ma wo kwa onsa ebekan ya no abomodin na wafreyin it was 0244615117 0244615117 na ne mpanyimfo atimi edi enkomo ewo Dwabin Rural Bank bomodin na wonso be shareholder na enema ntimi nkwankan afi ye ka Dwabin Rural Bank wo mo ye wo mo dia na otumi de wonsasi ubokasa ai benso Dwabin Rural Bank me ka ho finsha be se duanan ba ko nie ye mu bi kra na ye mu ye na sika kra be agya na mu so pampesa aponchi brekie wa ye sa be faso wonu bebre ena wote aboa omen abasobode a waje de wiase ne Ghana ha de eche wotwe mu nua mekasa meka ade ebekyenye ubetimi anya akwanya na wabe shareholder na nso waba be kan na ubenya faso bebre ena de afri mu a bi num te se abasobode scholarship a de ma ema enkrofo edico school ni ade no ni nyina ebi ewo ho no na etimi aboa ma nema etimi akonkan sounds na fixed deposit no bosomi miensa bosomi nsia ene afe na wona wosene ene emfaso ne ninsi hu na esimu no se befu na wode ekọ amanema etimi akonkan ene ewiase na ben ye nyina nya afe na wose otutu nan na wokọ Dwabin Rural Bank sa na wetimi akoye shareholder tie but online na me di tudwa no hyase bogu fun so na follow na instructions no why shareholder wi anesa enti wo bedale *389 *984 *389 *984 hash na wasende na wafollow na oniema konkan openchire mu abro de mde ama wo so a 0544 74586 ana 0242387498
Ja Bolivia Enterprise and Cancho so ni say kwan afaso didi no aya na no so eka wapomode ho yie papa enunti ebiri se mo jabro so afa igbo nse asichiri yarge no mni ade na de ho ne ho agijim obi won so abo nse ni mu edudu obi so ho a na ne so ate enunti ose or the future life smart food aba ede amount aduane pa wodia eboa esiese ho nkwamwa na boost immune system ne kama ti abrebia no na o apomodin na aboa mu watumi agina wonan so na future life smart food e kan wasem no fiber ewom protein ewom vitamins na fe minerals ne ade ewom kama eno tididi yie eye smart food a wode aba future life eno no we ya Bolivia Enterprise ene de aba wontumi no aduane wo ho we no ne yenye den eno ane sa wogi aduane na wode agu nsuom sterling wode enum unum ano no na wadi wade kama na aboa ma brebi apomotumi aye den hwehwe won machi kwan e wo sofo line alignment wodi wadi akire mu e wo patase e kwan ne so wona ya frɛ Bolivia Enterprise was 0242878090 and 0246010150 na obejo so waso obua ama watumi enya apomuden ekwan papa eso abusua yetoa anwenunsia kasebo no eso na encheri ena ebeto odwa se enipa bia wonum aye adwuma ewo Ghana Revenue Authority Custom Division no emu ayade se mpanyimfo kire se saa enipa num no watwe wonum asensan a wahye se yenye wonum nsemu nhwemu sanse na nsemu articulator bia na eso eniema ede ko nije mamu yesu se eniema na ewumu no ehonkontabuo no wonum anye ne sa na emu katasem bi ekoso ewumeba ne sa na eyedwirim katasehye ene proye no ebi ena akoso mu anu nti ya hye se sa nipa num no wonum ntranchen emeyenye wonsemu nhwemu na nam so ama opanyi baako a eba dwirim ena afi bambo nsensem a wabene mu eyie eye owura Richard Kumado wone Owia TV adi enkomo no de ato edwase no kwasem ni anamo a Ghana Revenue Authority mpanyimfo atu no ene kwan papa so eno no nemomu no wonde wo hwesese nhwehwemu ni nyina akọ na wieye na se no kwasem ni ebubo wonum se wonum aye sa dwurim ketasehye ane proye na wonum ajapade a wonam sa kwan bone ne so apani nyina yemane nyesa kokohwede asabio obutu kosia nyane de aso awieye no obeye kwase a yenyi nyina emfamfiri wonum nsem ensem a owura Richard Kumado adetu yenim bi eni
investigation. Interdiction is the first point of call. After interdiction, now your investigation. The next level is anywhere the monies have gone to, you're going to go so what you see down, you're going to go down and answer your cotton down and I fast animal house Ghana government. Now you're fancy hospital, Maya. Head one said, you're from court, now I'm a prison for 6 months and after 7 years. I remember in that regard. So one quack or Jessica. Now one form of prison. Now one young free other people will do the same thing. And in your was or CDI and is one more tradition. And that has been the nature of corrupt practices in this country. And that is why it's not going away. No, the American say one more tradition. That is the first one. Over your investigation, third one, the African calling na yako Pascano. So I'm going to say that yako Ocean Dano and answer yako Bubudano. The one, yes, now one year, the fourth one, say, Odion Beko court, now you prison for 6 years, and after 6 months, and after 1 year, and Fashiamba. And see, this has been a weakness in our crime prevention and corruption practices in this country. The first thing, oh yeah, and it's about my interdiction. And that has always been, it is not deterrent enough. And to be the African coin, I have a so one for Fatikana, the one for one court. No more prison and as a community services, it doesn't serve anybody's interest. A media phone and say, Mudia Chinamoko say interdiction with what is happening. So far, government, the investigations, Biama Yoko. Man, she said, journalists, they are bizarre question because they are breaking news. And so we are the next day now. In 2 days' time, I buy the state of the nation.
Tinini ayo panyi ba kwa waben wo dwirim kata hye ne proyense mu babambo nsensem so a wabene mu yie papa owura Richard Kumado
abjafo Musa Dankwa ne Global Info Analytics edi hwehwemu bi diaba edi afa koko bua aben ateso a wosusu se ewiase adwama asunti na amana akobasa no waye hwehwemu abisa Ghana fo binom se ebuyi se na wo musi esomu ewonomo na eno na wo kiremu a wahani nyichemu no aduanan ennan ye Ghana fo eto aba wono mu kiremu a ebo no eye pa se de omode ama na de eye kana sichie bi anim na wahani nyichemu no aduasa ba ko nso da bi we de konko achi konko pa otumfo otumu oro ka de fa matini bi eno no ni nyina mu no wo mo nipa be se wahani nyichemu aduonu ensia wono mo nso de wono mu ejina mfimfin a wono a wo hu se wo kọ de enye na wono nso a wo hu se wo kọ de eye afi wo ba ye no wotisi nananom koko akuafo ankasa mu se wo mu dua koko na ankasa no nso no omisa wo mo eno nso hwehwemu ode abeto dwa kiremu a wahani nyichemu no aduonu mu ensia ejidi se eya ne sa ebo ne ye pa na wanyi chemu no edu baako ene omo de wono bo nso oma pa la pa womo ko eso omo so atuduro a che se nya asem keto akra no nso ehu nsema betodwa emu wanyi chemu no aduasa emiensa de womo gina mfimfi ohun se wo kwa na ohun se wo kwa ha no afi wo ba mantem awodo a na are mantem bibi ti se fa mantem afo asante na afi bono Greater Accra mentifedo mantem afi atoye etifi mantem a womo se de esi apala na womo fuafuo no a che se womo de womo se bo no nya de a womo dwoso kra na womo munyi akese womo pa no atoye etifi mantem ani chemu no aduosia mienu a womo nya mampanyini kra wono bebo no wakeka ye nhwemu no bebre na ni nyina mu no asante mantem akoku akuafo enso ayensantrofo nhyiamu so womo de womo nsam osoma womo na hyebedwafo se momfa nko na monko ka nkira aban se aboro so a wakira womo pebo no 6250 wonfa ma womo nye saade a obetene de Phobia ewo asante mantem ha wo mo nsentwofo nhyiamu a wo mo ye no na mo chese na wo mo ni abra wo mo bi no
nyezemba ya aban de
omo se ene akina yi sa aban nim no amfa wo no bo am wo mo dia aban bete wo mo nka
akanifu a wo no mo eta wo mo a ekra anenchimo no mechire nto sedi free amana ne babeton ano na wo mo echese de Ghana dishie bi a atorenchem eto yen akiri wo no mo koye no womo atumi akofa ntosini bi ede aba wode ebeton ama Ghana fo na yebehye ne nso a enchere na Ghana fo birimu a wonum tu kwan ekọ Burkina Faso memu se wonom ekofa ntosi bi abeton kabrifo ibi ekotwa wonum ewokwam enam so ama wosane atuo ene asekan edegu wonum so ema Ghana fo adehye bi eto nanam ewo nse edu nu achi no na amahu akohia sempanyimfo de nhye pa beto akwam se de be ya obetumi abotimamufo no nkwa eho eban na wo kyese saa nhye no atumi awie peyoma na bese na nsani wonom atumi akwa womo akofa ntosini bi ede abanowura Eric Osetufo wono enaba oman Ghana mu a wonom a ekra ntosi ede eba ene adrobafo wono nkabumuko no woda ano ensem sebi ena wode atudwa.
So the first batch of tomato traders and transporters who were given the chance to enter into Burkina Faso 3 days ago has arrived. This is the first car. I spoke to the driver, I spoke to the traders. They went through without facing any dangers. The instruction given to them yesterday, they respected the instruction I gave them. They didn't go to any danger zone. So they have arrived safely. I will continue the same thing tomorrow until I come to Kumasi. This is a sign of warning given to those carton traders. We know there is freedom of trade in our constitution.
Eric Osetufo wono ene da won mo ekrantus ede eba no ene adrobafo no ano ne wo se bo kokose wosre Ghana fu wo musi ye wo ho kwan a obi atumi din ne niam age eboa wo pede nanso no anya se bi e ka se wi abeze ntosi bi aba na okoyire so bawe wo hu wa yire so chese ntosi a wo yi no ne bo den edu kosi ada wa sabu duku akotena asori nanim ho menko bu manfo mfa so why
na twist ne bia ba nkete and 90 said de medi kotua no ene e de ma me 10 cedis ene awie me kan wo se hwede sinche me ko fa no 40 million ena me beton nam sio nyame wo ho o man Ghana ene wo mu ye nto aso e edom kuma wo man Ghana mra hye bedwafia ye ensentwofo hye mu ama wo ma pa dai pa wo mu kyerem a dom dodo ne aben afi apema ankora de okro mienu wo men ya mamra ye di bu wo men ho mra no ese wo mu pese wo mu sini tra se wo ma sie awie mpo ama moja ejina no wono chema district assembly common fan yesika foto a yabode ato a yedisika tumu na yede som ahenu aduosia baako metropolitan na municipal and district assemblies ahodo no wo mo asesamra no a chese emfa ne kwa asokra wo chiremu a eno nkwan won fa so mo de ye enya manyosem ene ye de ye na mo mbom modin kofom ne ahwehwemu na ye gina susuye so ne ye de ache na ne ma akonkan ye hwe nwumasua apomuden ne ne ma wodo bebre so ne ye de ahwe ne ye de aye na enso e kame kwesa nam so otumfo timu a oro ka de fa beti ntuno abai afa kwan bi so amom asesem wajira so ama yewra a wono eye edonkuma na trene panyini pa minority chief repo oron monyamfo Frank anodompre atoa so na wachire mu se aban ne moden na ompe kwan obefa so na entenkamu bi edawon mu a Ghana sika fufuro opepem enso 7 billion Ghana cedis no obenya na afei yede ama district assemblies no ama omode edi wonu mu dwumadi.
The principle is simple. If Get Fund and NHI can receive structured predictable releases, so must DACF, especially given its constitutional supremacy. Now, arrears resolution framework. The estimated 7 billion arrears cannot be cleared rhetorically. They require a structured settlement plan. Proposed framework. 1. Independent arrears audit. Commission the Auditor General to verify and reconcile DACF arrears from 2014 to date. It cannot be a case of the minority against the majority.
A minority chief rep Onyamfo Frank ano dompre.
Asema na wachi mu ebeto dwa Ghana fo nyina edi nkomo no bed syndrome. A ni nyina se koba se owura bia ni din ade Charles amisa wanya mfinhia duno enkono koba se butupru mu atorenchem eto no na se wohia kwanhia bi na wo se de ne kwayare sabia no ana wonmo ade ne koduru kolebu sabia mu ebeto dwa se omose empa eni honti krachi yemfa no empa baabi emfa enam so ema besa don hwirem yensa de woto ananom ewo ense do ewo mu na no ana mrahye bedwafie wonmo atoato ho adwen na enya asem kuma akra edon kuma ne dom kase no afam nyina no wonmo ekire adwen efa wo se nikwa se saade wei ebi esi ewo manu bi osanse emfimpinu ne dunwotwe saa no bed sem ya ebai ema omotoato ho adwen ti yenhwe ne mu kwanse nka emfinhia duonu ene nsia mu de anka ebehu saa de ekokoso ibi na no na nam so amamra sebedwafie acha mehene se wo munye nhwehwemu mfamfa ho na yehu de enti a eba ne saa na no ene nam so amamra sebedwani a wogina ma adehye a ewo atwememu bi agya atifin pesua so okọ amra sebedwafie abedwaku a won wo hwe apomuden so so ka ho ebi owura Frank Yeboa eche se no kwasem ni anamon a omayi mra sebedwafie acha mehene se won mu ntu no ne kwan paswa.
When I say hospital equipment in there, any number of facilities or there, and ya service, Yahoo boy as a conqueror. And I be too skinny. Now, you can say no bed syndrome now. Doctor for I heard for me at say, and yes, service physical bed and empire that's soon be sometimes. If you have an pen, we go and yes, and pancake you. It's in the kind of panel. Name Momono say, Ebia or local hospital A. Now I say, O condition Omono. So I do 200 million one candian show. But I say, you're back over a full. I don't just say be a 77 camper, but as in any binio. Name Momono or Jiwa. Let's say M1. Obama can say, found higher hospital precon because if you are not being oxygen, or do to empower or to panels who are only oxygen or they use so. Therefore, always see the time. Tadia, if I go at the same preco, near show, and the answer, Yana, Tem, Bianacate, no bed, and pass, 77, physical bed, anyhow. Name mum, if I do, I want candy and a Indian fan show. It's in the kind of time. And the tennis said, say udu because to na say you can say yenti nyi no ho a say yempa na any ho say oxygen any ho ye be say shemre
obi agya of mbesi asomra sibidwa ni kwa abedwoku a wo mo hya apomuden nsam somra sibidwa fia oka ho ebi ayura Frank yebo a ana yetini ni abusua ye begina eno so sade ye konfo ogorogorogoro na twene agikrenkepe na wapon no aha ane enso ye krenke ni ye de akom ni nyina esie enase enkoma newsroom abuafo enyina akosua somua sanso na kuku ajando oko MC Arobapa ya Grace honom wono na kyerɛkyerɛ brofo ankakra ewo fie hanom saa enso enana yaw enso ehye obi Simon ebochidom saa enso enani ehye ho Mr President nom wonum nyina ene ka ho ema yede kase boyi ebaaye samufo eye owura Asante Yeboa Benedict ena akenkanfo ne yemme Nana Kwame Achiman Opambo ena
Abusia Penny Owusu Ediomi yesoso ama agudifo ma no abetrase Brighto na womode agudie mu nsem no ediaba Galatasaray ene Juventus say na wotwe atwa mu kosi ye no Juventus betimi atene na Madrid ene Benfica Accra Suffolk ensensem ekoso kotoko new coach ni say na akwakosie ni nyina ekura Brighto intimentwe ho gina na yenko na afi womra no metrase na omfa emamo